What's up, guys? Mike here from Ekim Knives, and I know I said 2 months. It's been a little bit more than that. Sorry. So it's official. I've gone full-time, but that's not what this video is about. I'll do a separate video of what it takes to go full-time if you guys are interested. Right now, I'm on my way to Luma Blades shop because I'm still in the process of learning CNC. So that's what this video is going to be about. Kind of what it takes to move from a hand maker like myself and a lot of you guys to take it to the next step and maybe incorporate a CNC in your shop. It's a lot more work, I have to say, than I first thought. And a lot of guys, it's completely wrong. For those of you that think that you just press a button and it spits out completed knives or completed parts, it's definitely not the case. On another note, since I'm still driving, it's going to be a little while. On another note, I went to my first knife show recently, the New York Custom Knife Show, which for those of you that don't know, I'm on Long Island, guys, right in the middle, like right smack in the middle. So the New York Custom Knife Show is about an hour and a half, 2-hour drive, maybe. So we go there, and I went with Jason, Luma Blades, and I just wandered around. I brought a camera, I brought a whole backpack, actually, worth of camera gear. And to be honest, I didn't take a single picture. I didn't take a single second of video. I just had to go there and kind of absorb all the information. I've never been in the same room with so many knife makers before and so many custom knives, and a lot of you guys approached me and said hello and said thank you for the videos, and you were showing me some of your work. And guys, some of your work is amazing, absolutely incredible. I was blown away. I couldn't take out a camera and focus on filming when I had that kind of experience going on. I also had a couple of my knives, the Albatross. I had a couple of those with me, and I handed them around to get feedback. And this is super important, guys. When you're making knives and you want to see where you stand and where you can improve, because that's the whole name of the game, isn't it? So I handed my knife to anybody and everybody that would take it, including guys like Todd Begg, and I told him, you're not going to hurt my feelings. Please be brutally honest. You know, tell me what I did wrong. And this isn't like an ego stroking thing. It's because I want to make a really good knife. So I got some excellent feedback. The Albatross was received very well, which was surprising to me. And there are like a couple of guys were saying, okay, hey, maybe you could soften this, or maybe you could do that. Excellent. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. I'm not going to be insulted or do anything like that. Well, why? You know, so constructive criticism was excellent. What else? Oh, redesigning the website. My first website was horrible, and I'm going to try and do, because I don't take books, I don't have books yet, but I'm going to try and do weekly or bi-weekly drops on the website. So let's say every Friday, every other Friday, or something like that. Whatever I've made for the week, I'll put up on the website, and if you can add it to your cart, it's available, and you can buy it. You know, so as simple as that. I guess we'll pick it up when we get to Jason's house. We'll do some in-person stuff, and this is probably, I want to say, 80 hours in to learning CNC so far. This is it, Luma Blades shop. Quick little spin around his shop. He's got a really nice setup. It's got the grinding station there, the heat treat station, and over here, the real reason why we're here is the 770 and all his tools set up. So I know I made it just look like I just showed up, but I didn't. I've been here for a few hours, and we've been working on some CAD and CAM stuff and doing a little photo stuff too. So he's got his laptop out.
Yeah, so here we're working on lock inserts, and I'm just going over with Mike, showing him the cam section. We spent a lot of time doing the model and the CAD section. He's got that pretty much down pat, so we're breaking into cam tonight, and I actually have to run some inserts for my Raven, and this is a relatively new program, so we're gonna load it up, see how it goes.
Cam, it takes a lot to learn cam. I just got modeling.
We're really playing video games.
Right. Yeah. We were playing Assassin's Creed.
And shopping on the internet and buying all kinds of new tools.
Right, yeah. Jason totally tricked me into buying a, what is that thing? A 3D printer.
Oh, well, let me show you why.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, let me show you why.
You guys got to see this.
Alright, so Mike, let's see if we can open his computer up real quick. So Mike showed up and he did an awesome job. This is a scale for one of his new designs. And you can see how it's not in Mike's signature style. Mike doesn't really like the slab slides all that much. He likes to round everything off. But it's kind of an advanced move and kind of difficult to go ahead and round this off. So we went through and we basically went ahead and I showed him how to model, basically turn that into this. It's the same exact thing.
How cool is that, guys? It's all contoured and all nicey nice. He's going to feel great in the hand. Right off the machine, you can contour it to this instead of having slab side with chamfered edges, which is nice too, but I wanted to get this contoured, kind of like a 1911 pistol grip.
Which it kind of looks like. Actually, if you hold it that way, it looks like it could be like an old revolver grip. But the most important thing I see about it is you're not going to be setting yourself on fire at the grinder anymore. So anyway, I told Mike, I said, hey, you know what? Let's, he was asking about this printer I got right here. It's a printer bot. It is the best 3D printer that for the bang for the buck. I mean, it blows my mind. So I said, hey, Mike.
This is what sold me on it.
I said, hey, Mike, you know how I use it for everything. I use it for everything now. I use it for my prototyping, so I'm not blowing money on titanium just to find out that I put a stop pin somewhere. I made this entire knife on it. It doesn't flip that good, but it's got everything. I took the stop pin out, but the stop pin hole, everything's in there. Pivot, backspacer, lock bar is cut. I mean, it's, you know, it's not a lock bar is cut, but it shows me everything. Proof of concept. Put something in my hand, and you know, open my drawer and show them this knife.
Sure. So this is his new knife, his FET model. He calls it the Merc. And this is the 3D printed prototype, so he didn't have to waste all kinds of money on titanium and saw blades and do it the slow and hard way. Now we can see if this knife feels good in the hand, if the action is going to bump into the backspacer or anything like that. So we have the, oh, not this one. Here we go. The completed model is this guy right here, and I'm not going to pick it up because I have a ring on my finger and I don't want to scratch it up.
Oh, you're going to scratch that? That's Cerakote. This is made to be beat the hell out of.
There we go. Jason will hold it up for us so we can compare. If it'll focus. Come on, focus. There we go. You can see it's literally a one-to-one prototype of the exact same specs, just printed on a printer.
It saved a ton of time, ton of money, and contrary to what people say on the internet and in forums that it'll take 3-4 hours, that printed in under an hour. I mean, and you don't need a 12-inch by 12-inch bed works. That's got a 6-inch by 6-inch. Yeah, I'm not going to do, you know, Bowie knives on it or giant fixed blades, but for what I'm doing, it works perfectly. So anyway, back to what we were talking about. We printed out that scale that you just saw, and we'll go over to the computer so you can hold it up next to it.
Right, this is a printed prototype of one of my scales, and this is exactly one-to-one of what it would look like. And we'll hold it up to the computer here. I mean, it's exact. And this is as if I made it in the shop, life size, everything. Of course, this is a karambit, so it would have a pinky hole. And now I can see, are there any hot spots? Are there any problems with it? And so far, so good. And I like this. After he printed this, I had to have one of these printer bots, so I went and ordered one. We'll see how much I struggle with it, but it doesn't look too terrifying.
You'll be fine. There's no fixturing involved, nothing. And Mike's a bad influence too, because he came over. I have trouble taking pictures of my work.
Right, so I talked him into one of these, and this is probably going to blind the camera, but It's a photo box.
It's an incubator for chickens.
Right, yeah, the chicken. The chicken. The chicken incubator. As you can see, it lights up everything nicely. I'll show. I'll pop in a couple of pictures here to show what good lighting can do for you. And this is like a $50–60 box on Amazon. Totally worth it, and really helped us clean up our pictures really nice. Right here, this is what we're going to make right now. This little part right here, and this is focus. There we go. This is just a steel lock bar insert with a built-in over travel that Jason has designed for his. This is his Raven. This is one of his scales right here, and as you can see, he has one installed, which is nice because hear that? It won't over travel, but he has a clearance enough where you can easily unlock the knife and clear the detent ball and everything. So he's really figured out the tolerances, and this is just a great example of machining a small part, something that I could learn. So he invited me over today to learn something easy. Instead of tackling a whole knife at once, we're going to tackle it little piece by piece. It's kind of cool checking out another maker's space, the way he has everything set up. So we're going to go check out the machine, but I just want to show you the other corner really quick because a lot of people give Jason a hard time about it, but I love this setup. Yeah, I'm showing the drill presses. Look at this. Talk about, you want to see somebody drill some holes really fast? He's got a drill press for everything that he does, and this way you don't have to sit there and fumble, and he's got everything labeled. Right here, number 31 drill, and that's what the drill does. That's the RPM he runs at. Super efficient guy, and I really love to see that kind of stuff. From ancient drill presses to brand new Wens over here.
Oh, I got my big ancient one that's going to be coming. I just haven't put it in here yet. Right, yeah, he's got the big boy coming back. And then my little 440, the baby CNC. Hey, does this look familiar, guys? You remember when I showed you this? Well, guess who did it first? That's why mine looks exactly the same. And he's got the little 440 over here, and he's got pocket clips for his Raven all set up in here. So this is his dedicated pocket clip, but he was saying that this machine can hang with the big boy. So just real quick, if you want to say something about the 440. Listen, this is what I'm going to say. I have both machines, as you guys see. The 770 is a superior machine because it has more bells and whistles. It has a bigger work envelope, but the 440 will do everything the 770 will do, and it's great surface finish. And don't let internet influence you. These are the pocket clips that I make on there. Titanium. I mean, this surface finish is good.
Why don't you show them some of the pattern that you put on top of them?
Oh, this
with the pattern.
This one here.
Yeah, take a look at that, guys.
That's all done on the 440, and this is intricate work, including thread milling. These are blind holes, 440 thread milling.
Yeah, that's for those of you that are not familiar with thread milling. It's you take this tiny little cutter. Let me see if I can show you one. They're like $60 each, and they snap like toothpicks. So a lot of people think that the Tormach machines can't handle it. But how many holes have you tapped with that?
Geez, probably 1,000. Probably 1,000 holes, and that's the first one I had. And I was very concerned and very nervous that I was going to break it because, like Mike said, they're $60 each, and you know I'm not a rich man. A lot of people say that the Tormach is not an accurate machine or whatever, but the truth of that matter is for knife making, it's plenty accurate. I know a lot of guys that use it. The guys that are having problems, they got to look at their setup and their material prep. That's probably the biggest thing that they got to look at is their material prep. It's very important, even to do what we're doing. These inserts, you know, this is the material that I prep for. You know, you can't rush this kind of stuff. So these are all surface ground, exactly the exact thickness, and they're squared on all four edges, so that when I put them in, my CAD works. The numbers that are in real life are the same that they are in the program. And when they're sitting down they're sitting in that vise flat and you're not having problems. That's not saying that mistakes don't happen. Who knows? We might have a nice little crash today. You never know.
Right, that's just kind of the nature of the beast.
That's the nature of the beast, but you have to be very detail orientated and have a system of checks and balances when you're doing this to try to help mitigate any type of problems.
He has his precision stock that he made precision himself. It wasn't precision when he got it. And he's going to... What he's trying to say is basically these machines are only as accurate as the stuff you feed it, including the information, the parts, the raw materials. So that's one thing he's been really hammering home with me and trying to make me understand. And that's how you get it done. And that's how you get the tolerances and the desirable results.
We just loaded everything up. We're going to run it. I don't know. You could probably shoot. There's a little, my beautiful enclosure, the dirty shower curtain.
You see where I got the shower curtain idea from too?
The shower curtain. Hey, it works better than the $2,000 Tormach enclosure that everyone says leaks like a sieve. This doesn't leak anywhere. So you could probably.
All right, so we're going to go through this little hole in the back here.
My observation hole.
Right, his observation hole.
When I first started, I used to hide there when I'd pick cycle start so I didn't get hit with something. So.
Alright, I'll do my best to hold it steady. There we go. Now it's digging in.
I'm running it kind of aggressively. This is S35 stainless. I'm pushing it fairly aggressively because I'm running at 6,112 RPM and a feed rate of 12.2 inches per minute. Works real good. Smaller cutters, you can, contrary, you could push them pretty hard. And I'd rather get the efficiency out of them. Things that break, you hear it under strain. And as you're working with this stuff, you're going to learn when it sounds like it's going to break. And it's a very fine line.
I've heard that a lot about machining by ear.
Years doing carpentry, you learn, and you guys that work in the trades, they use saws and stuff, you can tell when a saw is going to kick back when you're cutting through a sheet of plywood because they'll start to bind. Like that sound right there, you can actually hear the chips cutting. You're not worried about it breaking, but if you're not used to that, you're going to think, oh my goodness, it's going to break. So
and we'll take a look at this op, and then you guys have seen machining before, so we're not just going to film the entire thing, but as you can see right there, it milled those pockets. So now we'll cut it here, and then we'll come back when we have the finished parts and we'll show you, because right now we're just going to change the tool again, right?
Yeah, we're just doing another tool change. We're going to go in and do the secondary pocket. That pocket right there was for the flange to hold the screws down. Now we're doing a secondary pocket with a 16th inch end mill for the 256 screws. It's tiny, it's kind of intricate. Then we're going to go ahead and do a contour with the 1/8 inch to 50 thou, and then we can pull it out and show you guys what we do. And you know, then it has to get flipped and put in another fixture, and the rest of it cut out, and then it's all done.
Alright, so it's been about 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And we're just blowing it off now, and we'll take a look. That first op is done. There's those lock bar inserts.
So this is the fixture right here. Those little bosses, that mimics what I have inside of my lock bar that holds it. So this is machined to just snap right. I'm sure you heard the snap. The snap, there's zero plate any way you go. That's how accurate, and these are tiny parts, that's how accurate the Tormach is. So I don't care what anybody says. If somebody says their Tormach is not accurate and that's why they're not producing accurate parts, that's because their setup is not right, they're doing something wrong, or there is something drastically wrong with that particular machine. And I'm not a Tormach fanboy, believe me.
Neither of us are.
I've had the Haas rep here twice already for other reasons. And all the poor machine, all the problems that I thought I initially had with it were because of my setup. Because once I changed my setup and I really took the time to learn, that machine sat, how long, Mike? Like 6 months before I touched it.
At least, yeah.
I had it here.
I'm coming up on that now too.
Yeah, 6 months before I touched it. And I just sat here for, 12, 14 hours a day learning everything about it.
So over here in cam, there was a possible tool breakage issue that Jason wanted to address. So he's showing me how to implement different features in the way that the cutter will remove the material, so nothing gets slung into the path of that end mill, binding it up and breaking it. So we're just going through a couple of different methods to tackle that problem. And as you can see, it'll give you a 3D look of exactly what the CNC machine is going to do, hopefully, and not break anything.
And this part's not the problem that we're talking about. The problem that is coming up here, I'll speed it up. Now you can see to the right of the insert, it's no big deal, but when we cut off this piece here and we come to the last pass, I'm slowing down, speeding it up, it's thinner. As soon as right at that point, it could throw this chunk into the path of the end mill and break it.
Yeah, so we want to alleviate that problem and hopefully not break a tool. But sometimes this stuff is, like Jason was saying, a lot of it's strategy. Sometimes it's trial and error stuff. So we tried it one way and he was having some breakage issues. So now we're trying it a different way. So like I said, he's trying to show me everything just so I have a full toolkit for when I go to do this myself. Looks like we might be in the clear. Don't say that. I just think that now it's going to break.
But
look at that, nothing broke. The change in strategy worked.
That's just a rough finish, but it's a pretty good surface finish.
And the tool's still there. And check that out, guys. We got the finished parts. They're ready to come off and go into heat treat. And this is what, S35VN?
S35VN, same as the blade steel.
All nice chamfered, nice surface finishes everywhere. If the camera would behave. Very cool. A wonderful thing about knife making is you gotta find some of these old tools and hope for the best. Yeah. And right now I'm trying to find a Rockwell tester like he has here. This is in really great shape, but he had to drive hundreds of miles to get it. So we're searching the internet for somebody local, and we found one, but it looks pretty terrible. But we're debating on whether or not to take a chance on it. It's, I think, the same model as this one, but it looks like it's been stored outside. This is the cool thing about hanging out with other knife makers is we don't just look at each other's knives and like share each other's tips and tricks of how to make them. But I went to the New York Custom Knife Show with Jason, and he picked up this cool Hinderer slip joint that we're looking at. Awesome stuff. The parts came out great, and I think that's it. We're gonna call it a night. It's getting late. We've been here for like 4, 5, 6 hours now, just working on parts. So
yeah, I gotta get dinner.
Yeah, Jason.
Right on, brother.
Awesome.
Thanks
Thank
for coming,
you,
man.
All right, guys, that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed stopping by Luma Blades shop. Jason's an awesome dude. Check him out. I'll leave his information in the comment section. Well, not the comment section. The description section below. But it's dark out. I'm hungry. I want to get home. Have a good one, guys. I'll catch you on the next video.